who scored a bucket last night.
First.
It was his first NBA bucket. And and the Pacers say anytime anybody scores their first bucket, even for the other team, they get the ball. First NBA bucket. So we had a guy, and he wanted the ball. Now, the thing that's amazing is apparently they have 2 official game balls.
Right.
For
Giannis
each
feels
game.
like he don't got the ball.
So Carlisle was like, fine, he can have the real game ball. Well, our rookie will take the other ball. That was an official game ball. So here's the punchline. The rookie did score. He scored in the in-season championship game that the Pacers had against the Lakers, but that game didn't count in the standings or in the record books.
Which I hate.
So technically,
Giannis feels like he has the wrong ball. How about that?
I don't know how it ended up, but we're talking about Draymond Green and what's going on.
His future.
Suspended indefinitely. Let me ask you, and you just said it right there, and this is where I'm at too. You just said his future. I care more about the Warriors' future.
That's deep. And
I really do.
You know I do too, right?
Yeah. No, I know.
Do you think he's a part of it? Honest,
I don't know.
Right now. I don't. Something's going on, man. That we do not. I'm telling.
I mean, I agree. If I were to ask Warrior fans just what's hitting you today, and somebody said, "What's hitting you today, Steiny?" It's like, you know what? This is all more serious than I guess I thought it was. This is a big deal. I kind of treated it like the latest Draymond incident, but clearly it's much bigger than just the latest Draymond incident. That's what's hitting me today.
Right. And I feel like I just feel bad for Curry, Clay, it's just a whole team. But miss me on Chris Paul, who I'm not blaming, but I thought his leadership, his veteran savvy would rub off on Dre, Steiny. I'm not blaming CP3, but he's acted worse with another veteran caliber of CP3. Like, I'm telling you, man, the training day analogy is what I'm seeing. It's what I'm hearing. And some people are trying to put this at the doorstep of the Warriors, the doorstep of Steph Curry. But, I mean, Dre is a smart, intelligent father, husband. Steiny, I don't know how we got here, man. But I do know this, and I'll just say it for the people in the back that didn't hear me yesterday or the day before. I think this is as egregious as the chokehold on Gobert, and I'll just leave that there. There are a lot of people, you, the boss, Evan, that feel like, it ain't up there. But he knew what he was doing, and he landed. And for Kevin Durant, his former teammate, who they've won 2 chips with, for him to say, I've never seen that on a basketball court, like, and Nurkic, like those are echoes, Steiny. The league is looking at Dre like, this ain't cool, man. I might get hurt. And they might be just trying to hate on the under, but he's giving them that fuel. And now the Warriors embark on dude, I'm telling you, man, I hope somehow they go 7-3 in their next 10. Because if they don't, man, he'll have ruined 2 seasons in a row.
But they can't win a championship without him. Shout out to Benny and Anthony from the local 483. Shout out to Benny and Anthony from the local 483, and that's from Blanche from the Bay.
Probably
pay $4.99 for me to read that. We should get some percentage of that.
Don't be greedy.
All right, let's take some calls. Let's get into it and just kind of where you at right now with Draymond Green and the Warriors. Where are your first thoughts?
Clippers tonight
starting to come in. Let's go to we can start with Bobby in Los Altos. See if he can.
Ricky Henderson.
But it's easy for Bobby. When he comes into a show in the middle, gets to run up and down, get loose.
Now there's pressure.
Right. Now he's got to come out.
Me at the knockout tournament.
He's starting now. So we need Bobby to
bring it.
Yes, exactly. Right from the tip. What's up, Bobby?
All right, fellas. I'll do my best not to disappoint you. Listen, I'm going to say this. First of all, I'm going to say to everybody, and also to you, Steinmetz, let's just relax. Before I talk about why we need to relax, I really wish I could see the text exchange between Steph and Dre that went on. Because, if I was Steph, being, not trying to hurt the relationship, I would write things like, that punishment was BS. But in my mind, I'd be like, you reap what you sow. It's like it would be a very disingenuous text. But I would say to Dre, if I was Steph, hey, take this situation as an opportunity to prove to the league and prove to the public that they are wrong. I know he doesn't need professional help personally. I know he can figure it out. Now, the reason I say relax is that the NBA, unlike the other sports, 80% of the teams get in the playoffs? It's very early in the season. It's one thing to say you have a team with no talent and no hope. Let's call them the Detroit Pistons. It's another to say that you have a team that has the potential to win more games than they lose, but just something isn't clicking. They got more than enough time to figure it out, and they got more than enough time to be one of the top, I don't know what it is per conference anymore, 12 teams to make the playoffs. So let's just relax. I don't even care about the regular season in normal circumstances, because in the NBA, you got to play like 28, 30 games in the playoffs, which is 40% of the season. So let's just calm down.
You're not,
Bobby, I'm shocked.
Bobby, you're not worried they could maybe miss the playoffs.
Like, you need to be.
They could miss the playoffs. They could, but they have the potential to make them. And how many games are we in? Like a third of the season?
23.
Come on, man. This isn't like this happened, with 14 games to go. We got plenty of time. Clay will figure it out. He always does. We'll do enough to limp into the play-ins or whatever they're called.
Let me say something to
him. We'll figure it out.
Hey, Bobby.
But okay, you limp into the you limp into the play-in. Then what?
And then we turn it on. And you can say, what's the chance of that happening? But we have that championship DNA. Would you rather limp in and be Detroit or limp in and be the Warriors?
Well, thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it. You're the man. Detroit can't even limp in.
Lost another game. My point is, Draymond Green, you tell me if I'm wrong. If I had $1 for every time somebody said he was the heart and soul of your team, and now your heart and soul is on a sabbatical, we don't know when he's coming back, how can people not be panicked? How can you not be upset? And, Bobby, you need to wake up. They're 10-13 already. That can grow and get worse. So, hey, Bobby, more power to you. Nothing to see here. But, Steiny, if you go to the doctor and he says, hey, Guru, you got to hang, Steiny, you got a hangnail, you're good. But if he says something's up with your ticker, then you're in trouble. Your heart and soul has been suspended indefinitely.
Yeah, and I wish Bobby were on the phone because I hate responding to somebody when
he's listening.
Yeah, I know. But the problem is Bobby's plan is Bobby saying, get to the playoffs, limp in, and see. That wasn't what we were told. We were told this was a team that could win a championship as recently as 5 days ago.
Trey said it was Bonte said it too all day. It was his most important season. He said that in training camp. And this is how wow.
Monty Poole in 15 minutes, NBC Sports Bay Area. This is right. This is absolutely true from the 530 on the Comcast Business text line. And it's the kind of thing that I love to point out. Does telling someone to relax ever work? Feels like it winds people up more. I think you're right. Go relax.
R-E-L.
Relax.
He made that famous, though.
Relax.
I'm fine.
R-E.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Relax. You say that enough.
No, that's
you get knocked out.
Little Johnny, black folks didn't use timeout. You got knocked out. Timeout, please.
Hey, let me ask you one. Here's one that I heard about not heard about. Here's one from back in the day that we used to do today. Does this ever happen? Go to the corner.
The dunce hat.
Go stand in the corner.
We called it the dunce
with your back to the class.
With the
what
dunce hat.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about you walking to the back of the classroom, finding a corner, and turning around.
It's even worse than to make you go to the front of the class and turn around in the corner.
Oh, gosh.
Everyone has to look at you.
Let's go to Zach. Zach's in Morgan Hill. God, what's up with the traffic in Morgan Hill? What's going on, Zach? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Hey.
Doing well, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, so the main thing in this world is we can all agree to disagree, right? So
sure.
My opinion, no matter what happens, I'm going to be loyal to Draymond. We got to 6 finals. We won 4 championships. I'm kind of done with hearing people like Brian Windhorst throwing us under the bus, Mr. Checkbook win, I think we need to stick by our team, be loyal, and whatever happens. At least I know I'm not no bandwagon fan. I was loyal, and I supported my Warriors.
Okay, let me ask quick. Zach, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There. Could you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. You were loud and clear. So if there's a Warrior fan just like you who's kind of done with Draymond and's like, you know what? Do you consider them not a real Warrior fan or no? I understand that.
I'll put it this way. There's a lot of sheep, not a lot of shepherds. I'm a shepherd. I don't just follow the media and throwing Draymond under the bus.
Sure.
I feel like Adam Silver needs to do a better job with this league. We got Tournament Cup. They should have changed it to the LBA, the LeBron Basketball Association. Just handing out gifts,
Well, let me ask you this before you go. Isn't Draymond the bus? You're saying like something's unfair. He's out there clobbering dudes, choking dudes. How can you defend that?
No, I'm not necessarily defending it. What I'm saying is I'm going to be loyal.
Yeah, ride or die. I get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that with my kids. When my kids make mistakes, I don't pile on. Let them go through the process. Let's see what happens.
That's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
Not out there
Thanks,
like
Zach.
John Morant,
Okay. No, that's fair.
But if we miss the playoffs because we got a problem.
What's that?
If we miss the playoffs because of your redundant actions, that's why I wish I could see Steph's phone and let me send a text. MFR, what are you doing, Dre?
Yeah, see, that's not where.
Come on, Day.
That's not where my head's at right now. Like, to me, what if we miss the play? That's on the table. Like, to me,
with him playing,
they're 10-13.
Yeah, with him playing, it was on the table, and we were losing our hair.
Exactly. Them not making the playoffs is absolutely on the table. That's why when Bobby goes, maybe we again, if we are sitting right now in
fifth seed.
I was going to say Orlando, but they're good.
Detroit,
Toronto.
Oh yeah.
If we're sitting in no, they want a ring. If we're sitting right now,
like Phoenix.
Well, yeah. We're sitting right now but now I've been so circular that I can't remember what I was going to say. No, if we're sitting in Phoenix right now and say, maybe get into the playoffs and see what happens, it's like, okay, I can go with that. We're in Golden State. They got 4 titles.
Yeah. Trying to get to 5th.
Whether they sneak into the playoffs and win a round, or whether they miss the playoffs completely, or whether they get into the playoffs and lose in the first, to me, I feel like it's all the same. Because unfortunately and fortunately, the standard you have is championships. And your coach said a week ago he thought it was a championship team. Real quick, Goo, your favorite Sheed.
I was just about to read them.
Is paying $5 for this text. So much for a respectable ride off into the sunset, end to the era. This is the Titanic after Draymond drove them into another iceberg. Blow it up.
I wonder how much of Dub Nation feels that way.
Oh, there's a few more. Yeah, but I was also can you get the numbers again on the Titanic?
Oh,
it just wasn't as wasn't that bad. It
wasn't
wasn't as bad as you think.
Yeah, like half of them survived.
Exactly.
I think it was like 700
went down, guys.
The ship went down. Not everybody went down.
Like 750 people survived.
Exactly. Nothing like the Andrea Doria. Now that was a nightmare.
It's a great movie.
We
got another one.
What movie? Andrea
Doria? No, the Titanic.
Oh, never saw it. It's too long. Okay, I'm scrolling through to find the next one.
From Blanche by the Bay, shout out to Benny and Anthony.
No, we got them already.
From the local 485. And then the last one is from Jesus Cristo. Grab your popcorn, everybody. This is The Last Dance.
But they finished together. I'm worried that Dre might not be back. The indefinite hit me, man. We got Monty coming up. Well, Steiny, what's Joe Lake? I keep going there, but it matters. What? What's he thinking?
Who?
Joe Lakeup. And I know they're meeting today, Dumars, Mike Dunleavy. Speaking of which, how's his career? Great start, huh? Man, to watch Bob do what he's done under him and then I take over.
Well, he re-signed Draymond. It's his fault. I mean, I don't mean that to say.
Lakeup signed.
Okay, then they all do.
I ain't putting that out at Dunleavy. on Dunleavy.
Well, he'd be the only GM not responsible for making moves then.
Well, you heard Joe say we do it by committee.
Hold on a sec, though. And this is where...
real.
I get exactly what you're saying, and I think there's absolutely some merit to it. But what I'm saying is, before Mike Dunleavy got hired, if he's saying to Joe, why wouldn't he say, Joe, you want me to be the GM? We got to move off Draymond. Mike, I'm not doing that. Okay?
I still want the job, then I move forward, Steiny.
You know what? I got to be honest with you, and I've always said this about Mike Dunleavy. He has got a ton of juice. A ton of juice. Mike Dunleavy absolutely could have said, and I don't know if it's the case, maybe he wanted to re-sign Draymond. Maybe they both wanted to re-sign Draymond. But if I'm Mike Dunleavy and I feel strongly that we got to move off Draymond Green, I am not accepting the job at Golden State knowing that my first move is one that I'm not on board with.
And you know what? Hearing you say it like that, I believe he was on board with it.
And you know what? I think they all probably were on board with it because it was the best of two bad decisions. Alex in San Francisco. Hey, Alex, how are you?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to touch on something that Guru mentioned before the break about the suspension.
Yep.
How he's still going to be allowed at practice. The Warriors have yet to make any kind of statement, basically saying, look, Dre, you need to stop. We need to stop accommodating your behavior because it's not helping the team. Telling him that he's not welcome at practice, I think would have done that. But unfortunately, if they were going to do that, they would have made that statement already.
Great point.
Another thing I wanted to say was that I don't know if you guys heard this yesterday, but there was some comment about how Shanahan, he's targeting people with some emotional instability to kind of get them off their game. Now, we know Draymond will come back. It's just a matter of when. But now I think we can say that other coaches are going to be targeting him to get him to react the way that they're accustomed to him reacting. Now, Guru, you said before that you don't think he could change. We saw the best version of Dre the first year he took over for David Lee. He played smart, he played hard, and he didn't talk all that junk. After the championship, after that chip, then he started mouthing off. But he's been allowed to do that for so long, and I don't think he could get back to that better version of himself. So basically, I just want to agree with you on that point, and that's all I want to say.
Well, that's the one thing that Kevin Durant, we listened to what Kevin Durant had to say.
Oh, boy.
And if you notice, he referenced that, too. He made a point to say, this isn't the same guy who came into the league.
No doubt. He wasn't that way when I was there.
Little comparison with Terrell Owens? Terrell Owens?
Well, I think Colin might have brought it up yesterday. There's no real veteran voice in the locker room or even in the organization that Draymond has a connection to as a player because Andre Iguodala is gone, but also someone like Sean Livingston is no longer with the organization. Bob Myers isn't there. So Draymond's the oldest guy in the room, and there's no one really to check the checker if and when he goes off the rails like he has recently. And I think that's a big part of it, too.